Corso. I'm a senior IMC major and I'm from Biloxi, Mississippi.
I'm Ashley Province. I'm also a senior IMC major and I'm from Washington, D.C.
I'm Bethany Atkinson. I'm also a senior IMC major and I'm from Madison, Mississippi.
I'm William Chamberlain. I'm from Hernando, Mississippi. I'm an IMC major.
I'm Coleman Young. I'm also an IMC major and I'm from Oxford, Mississippi. And we are Sweet Spot Marketing.
So our team was tasked with creating a marketing campaign for Traceway Retirement Community in Tupelo, Mississippi. So we are here to represent the School of Journalism and New Media for the University of Mississippi in Oxford.
So just to start off with our general campaign overview, our selling point is going to be a future together, which within that we're kind of trying to emphasize the community that Traceway has, because we kind of felt like the obvious selling points were the physical aspects of the greenhouses and the way you can level up in your care. But when we got to go into a focus group there, we really were impressed with the way that they communicated with each other and the family lifestyle that they live with each other. It's not just them living their day-to-day lives next door to each other, they're living their lives with each other. So with that, we said that the people that would be coming to Traceway would be having a future all together. So within that, our campaign objectives are to, first of all, to increase the awareness in the Tupelo community of Traceway, and then we also want to engage with the Tupelo community in a very meaningful way and on a personal level. And then we also wanted to emphasize the way that Traceway's revolutionized senior care, as y'all have already promoted through your Eden alternatives.
So as Bethany mentioned, we did a focus group in Traceway. It consisted of 7 members, and it really gave us a feel on how much the members really appreciated the community that they found at Traceway and kind of the aspects that they really loved about it. As you can see, these are some quotes from participants. They really felt that it was really meaningful to them. One participant said they received more support when they were going through a hard time than any other time in their life here at Traceway. And they really found another home, which is where we wanted to target our campaign, is a future together. They're not leaving their families, but they're gaining a new one and getting part of the Traceway family. We only had one complaint, and that was that there was not enough apple pie.
So, per our research, we were able to conclude that about 47 million of the people in the United States are elders of our community, and that number is expected to actually grow to 100 million by the year 2060. And we've also found that male life expectancy and female life expectancy, respectively, are 78.8 years for males and 81.2 for females. And so, out of our elders, 20% of those aren't retired, and that's not always by choice, by our elders' choices. And 3.1% in assisted care centers are in assisted care centers, and then we have 70% chance of needing long-term care. And also, we found our senior citizens are much more adapted to online, and then 45% use Facebook.
So we did a situational analysis, and we kind of found that a lot of Traceway's strengths lied in the greenhouse initiative, the movement and care levels. That was something that was brought up in the focus group. That was really important and meant a lot to them. Again, the strong community feel and the high member satisfaction. The weaknesses and threats kind of mirror each other, and I'll get to that in a moment. But the opportunities is, once again, to capitalize on the community environment. There's lots of amenities that they enjoyed, and the easy community access, being located kind of in a central part of Tupelo and really close to everything. The weaknesses were the nonprofit restrictions. Like we mentioned whenever we first came to Traceway, is that y'all try to keep everything cost as low as possible. So that limits structural improvements. And then once again, the topic material is very sensitive in how you approach it marketing-wise. And then the threats, nonprofit restrictions like above, and then the other competitors in the area, and then the increase in online or in-home care services.
So we've dubbed our target audience the Gen Xers, and they're typically going to be men and women in the 45 to 60 age range, which will be the children of the people that are now approaching becoming elders of the community. And as we mentioned, they're actually more digitally inclined and tech savvy than a lot of times they get credit for. And They're also going to be in a 2-income household usually, and they're also usually going to have children of their own.
So we wanted to implement the use of digital media to help achieve and reach our campaign objectives. And through our digital media campaign, we want to focus on the social media platforms of LinkedIn and Facebook, specifically for our target audience. Their age bracket fits that. We would also like to redesign the website a little bit, just enhance some graphics. And in addition, search engine optimization, which is becoming increasingly popular today. So just a couple quick statistics about social media. There's currently 3.2 billion users that use social media, so it would be a great method of advertising. We have over 67% are on Facebook currently, so that was one of our primary platforms that we wanted to use. And then of the businesses that are marketing through social media, over 73% have a high satisfaction rate and consider it very effective for their business. So for social media, we wanted to post sponsored content on Facebook. A sample post will be provided in your campaign book, but we wanted to feature a carousel style ad with a call to action button of scheduling a tour, and our pictures through our ads would highlight engagement activities and the relationships among the residents. For Facebook as well, the advantages are the ability to target your demographics through interest and we would also like to feature a resident of the week. The resident of the week would be featured on Thursday, which is with the levels of highest engagement, and this would feature a resident and one of their favorite aspects about Traceway as well. For LinkedIn, it's going to be more focused on organic growth. We just wanted to focus primarily more on sharing revolutionized articles of senior healthcare. So less sponsored content, less personal interaction, and more just about the message that we want to portray on how Traceway is revolutionizing senior healthcare. And for highest engagement on LinkedIn, we wanted to post on Wednesday as well. In addition, we just wanted to redesign the website a little bit. The foundation of the website y'all provided is wonderful, but we wanted to enhance the graphics, just more visually stimulating for the visitors. And we also wanted to include an FAQ page. This would serve as a hub for anyone that's kind of weary about putting their parents into senior healthcare, and just to address any concerns, whether emotionally or financially, and serve as like a hub for knowledge for the visitor. Also, we wanted to highlight one of our targets, which we found out of the SWOT analysis, the strength, which was the greenhouse initiative, and just provide some key points and concepts that kind of differentiate that as a better aspect of a living option versus a traditional nursing home. And lastly, we just wanted to clarify the floor plans and pricing, just because of the different levels of care, provide a direct point of contact for the visitor to contact an individual with any questions they have about that. Finally, our last part of the digital media campaign would include search engine optimization. So SEO today is increasingly popular, and this is, if you don't know what it is a way to generate organic growth through traffic, through the use of website search engines. So like Google. So 93% of all organic traffic is coming through Google. And out of those results, the top 5 results that appear on Google account for 67% of your click-through rate. So basic factors to focus on for search engine optimization would include enhanced visuals and graphics. You want your website to have high usability. You don't want broken links, you want links that are working, as well as the use of strategic keywords that people would put into the Google search engine to have Traceway pop up as a result.
So in addition to the digital marketing strategy, we also want to do traditional marketing, because we know some people it targets better for them. So with that, we still want to do a press release. You guys do really amazing events throughout the year, like your aviation flights for your citizens or your elders on campus. We think that's a really great opportunity to really get some promotion out of it and let people see what you guys do for your elders that live on your campus. Another thing, we have a great opportunity with Invitation Tupelo for a feature story about some of your residents. We also have brand new updated brochures, which you'll also find in your media packet. These are just more formulated to what this campaign is about and what we're trying to target. So they'll be able to be handed out at engagement events, open houses, things like that. You'll also get an engagement activity. So like I said, that will be your open houses and things like that. And Bethany will go into more detail on it. And we'll also include a calendar of events that includes all the things that we found that could be great resources for you guys to get your name out. And then we also have a great opportunity for a radio ad that can really expand the depth of your target audience. And then the last thing is branding promotional materials. Everyone loves promotional materials. So for promotional materials, everyone loves free pens. You see people, they take your pens, they steal them, they write their checks with them, they give them to their friends, you see them at doctor's offices. So it's a really easy and inexpensive way to get your name out there. So we really thought that was a great way to spend a small amount of the budget just to have some easy marketing materials. Another thing, in the hot Mississippi summers, everyone has a cold drink. You don't want to be holding a cold, wet drink in the middle of the summer. So a koozie is a great additional way to market your brand. It's also another tool that you can use when you're at an event. And then the last thing, we got a little crazy, but we noticed when we came to tour, you guys took us on these great buses. And we know that you use those for your residents for grocery trips and things like that. So we thought, why not get your name out there? Use it as a great marketing tool around Tupelo. People are going to see this beautiful green bus and they're going to say, wow, look at how nice of a product that these elders get to use. So that's also another great promotional opportunity for you guys and would really provide a great return on investment.
So another method of traditional advertising that we wanted to reach was radio. And radio just had a couple advantages for us. It was cost effective. It's a lot less expensive than a traditional TV commercial. It has easily targeted messages as well as high reachability. Will here is going to give us a sample of what our radio ad would be like, and it would feature a 45-second spot. And we also wanted to play the radio ad during times of highest engagement, which would be the morning drive and afternoon drive.
Yeah, so a day in the life is going to center around a son and his father having a conversation, and the son is going to voice his concerns about his aging father and what scenarios will need to be taken. And then the Traceway, we entered a narrator talks about Traceway, and then we center on individualized care and the multi-level aspect that Traceway provides.
So with the brochure that Madison mentioned, all we did was kind of simplify what y'all already have as a brochure, and it kind of just helps us stay in line with our campaign. It's more community focused, it has less details, and the goal of that is kind of to direct people to the new website or to call, and that's all in the back, and you'll get a sample of that in your packet.
As Madison mentioned a minute ago, we have a great opportunity with Invitation Tupelo. We've talked with the editor, and they are open to doing a feature story about two members at Traceway. We kind of titled it, as for now, New Love at Traceway, about two members who have found their new life partner in your community. And we found this once again in the focus group we did. And it's a little bit different than Invitation Oxford. This is Invitation Magazine. It's North Mississippi's premier lifestyle magazine. They hand out thousands of free copies all over the North Mississippi districts, and it's published 10 times a year in a well-established and trusted brand.
So with our engagement events that Madison mentioned, our goal of this is to really just get Traceway into the Tupelo community, which y'all already are a big part of them, but just these specific events will target the seniors in the community, because we found through the focus group that word of mouth from trusted individuals was the biggest way that people heard about Traceway. So our first one is a town hall meeting, which will take place. We'll rent out a room at the Country Club in Tupelo, and that will just give Traceway kind of a platform to speak directly to seniors in the community about the way that they have revolutionized healthcare, and kind of give the seniors also a platform to discuss concerns they may have with health professionals that we would provide. And then we also have the Rotary Club, which would be more of a partnership where they could come into Traceway and do community events, because I know that they do a lot of community service, so we thought they could do their community service at Traceway to kind of bring in extra people, not just the club members. There's also an Aging and Adult Services Conference that the Mississippi Department of Human Services conducts in Jackson every year. This year it's going to be in September, so that gives us plenty of time to put together promotional materials, which Madison talked about the extra ones we could have by then. And it really provides an opportunity for Traceway to network because there's other facilities that are there. There's opportunity to where they could have a vendor booth themselves and kind of network with pharmaceutical representatives and other healthcare providers. And there's about 200 people that are projected to attend every year, so it's a pretty big event. And all of this kind of leads up to an open house, which would kind of invite the Tupelo community into Traceway. And it would be kind of a shortened version of taking a tour. You would kind of have a mini tour of the media campus, kind of how we had when we got to visit y'all. And there would be kind of an opportunity to engage with faculty and current residents to kind of get that community feel that we felt when we were able to come. And the invitations that you see here, they're going to be in your packet, but those would be handed out at each engagement event. So, and also pushed on our social media so that it's kind of leading up to the open house to invite them back.
So this is the overall media budget. So your local marketing is going to include your radio ad for the 45-second spot. Your promotional materials, like I said, that will include your pens, your koozies, and as well as the 2 bus wraps. So that's for both prices. We checked with an actual vendor, and he quoted us a price to wrap both buses. And then that'll include your social media. So that is going to be your Facebook posts, posting throughout the day. The printing is going to be your brochures, your invitations, your pamphlets, flyers, things like that that you're going to want to hand out at engagement events, or as well as just having them on hand for people who come in to tour your facility. And then the web, that is going to be for your website re-optimization and your search engine optimization, I should say web redesign. And then your other, that's going to include the renting out the country club, your AAS conference booth fee. I believe that was $300 to rent that, so that could be a great, relatively inexpensive way to get your name back out there, especially in the Jackson area, so it could bring in some potential clients from outside of Tupelo. And then, so that brings you in at $27,000, just a little over. I know you guys said your budget was $30,000, so we decided that we were going to stick with what we brought to you and really see what's working and what we can use those extra funds to better target, whether it be your social media or if it's you need more flyers, more promotional materials, you want to add engagement events. It leaves you a little bit more in that budget to make it more feasible and have some room to grow.
So for our evaluation, we needed 3 methods for each of our objectives. And our first objective was to generate awareness with our target audience, which we deem the Xers. And through this, we would just measure social media impressions as well as website traffic through the use of Google Analytics. Our next objective was to increase engagement between the Traceway and Tupelo community, and this would be done through our engagement events. We would monitor the invitation responses and see if more inquiry calls were given or tours were asked to be scheduled. And then the last thing was to transform perceptions of senior care. And for this, we would measure the engagement of our social media, how many of our LinkedIn articles would be shared, as well as the participation in events like the senior conference and the Rotary Club.
So just to kind of wrap it up, we learned that Traceway offers seniors a future together. We really want to increase brand awareness and change the misconceptions of senior healthcare, like y'all mentioned. We will accomplish through a marketing mix of traditional, digital, and earned media like LinkedIn and the invitation. And it's important to target the Gen Xers, like we'll outline, through the appropriate mediums, which are once again the promotional products like the buses, pins, stuff like that, the radio spots, brochures, press releases, engagement activities, the invitation Tupelo feature story, and then the engagement calendar. Do you have any questions?
I just have a question on the printing budget, the $354. What did you say that included?
So that's going to be your invitations, your brochures, any extra flyers, things like that. We allotted it for the 3-month campaign, but like I said, you'll have that extra budget money. So if you need them, you can have them printed. And we also did
How did you
fund-
come up with that figure?
So I actually researched various locations to have things professionally printed.
Okay.
Office Depot provided me the cheapest price for you to have them done on high quality cardstock. And then your brochures will be printed with a heavy paper with a gloss print.
The radio spot, 45-second radio.
Yes, sir. 45 second slot.
It's been a while since I've been in the radio.
Yeah.
If I see usually 30s and 60s, but, okay.
Tell us about your market research. Was it limited to the focus group or?
We did a focus group like I talked about, and then we also did a lot of secondary research, a lot of articles, which you'll find in the packet that we hand out to y'all, but just to kind of give us kind of backing to our claims and kind of to understand the market we're trying to target.
What defines a senior in your secondary research? What age?
That was, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it was 60 and above.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.